Let's bring in Tennessee Republicans. Speaking of which, Senator Marsha Blackburn, who sits on the Judiciary Committee. Senator, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Obviously, you are one of those Republicans that would like to be transparent with this process. Should the public be able to see this report in its entirety?
Well, there are going to be some things, I'm sure, that will need to be redacted. Names, protecting individuals who should be protected in this report, protecting their identity. But you're going to see Chairman Graham make a terrific effort, if you will, to first of all get the report and as much as can be available. And then secondly, what you're going to see our committee do is to pivot to find out, how did we get started down this path anyway? Exactly what was the deal, if there was a deal, that was cut between DOJ and FBI? Why? There are so many whys and wherefores that people want to know the answers to, and they want to make certain that this has been appropriately handled. They are pleased that there's no collusion, there's no conspiracy, there's no obstruction. So now let's find out what really did happen in all this.
I think there's probably wishful thinking as far as getting Congress to move forward. I think you probably agree with that. I don't know what you're hearing from your Democratic colleagues, but you're making the case you need to go back to the issue and work with the Republicans on this. Is that in itself wishful thinking at the moment?
I don't think it is, Bill, and I will tell you why. People want to make certain that there is equal justice under the law, that things are fair, and that this never happens to another presidential candidate again, that there would be an investigation, that this would all be launched on something that was a political opposition research piece, and they can't figure out how this got started and who signed off on this and was the White House involved. So while this has cleared the president, what it has done is create questions about why there was such an intensity around making this path smooth and straight and short and clear for Hillary Clinton. Why had they predetermined that they wanted her to be there? And I tell you, quite frankly, I want to know why they never did investigate the Clinton Foundation, why they never went to those emails. Why didn't they look at Uranium One and the Clinton Foundation and the PEPFAR funding and the Clinton Foundation? There are all of these questions that are out there as to why there seemed to be a preferential treatment and a different treatment that was given to one and not the other. The American people want fairness, and they want to make certain that we're a nation of laws abiding by the rule of law.
I want to move on to healthcare here in just a second, but
sure.
First, as far as the hearing William Barr testify before Congress, before your committee, what can you tell us on that at this point?
We're going to let the chairman take the lead on this. We're looking forward to having Mr. Barr in front of us and having the opportunity to ask some questions. Okay. I have no doubt everybody's going to be watching that hearing.
All right. Meanwhile, here's the president's message on health care and 2020 and his party yesterday.
Let me just tell you exactly what my message is. The Republican Party will soon be known as the party of health care. You watch.
Congresswoman, what's your message on health care?
I agree with the president. There are so many things that we can do, and we're right to pivot to health care. When you look at all the issues that this president and Republicans have solved, then yes, moving to health care, making certain that we look at how you have access to affordable health care for everyone, addressing block grants back to the states for Medicaid funding, looking at how you expand health savings accounts, looking at how you reduce the costs that are embedded through all of the payment processing, looking at how we're going to address emergency care and then looking at new ways to deliver these systems, broadband with health technology, digital imaging. There are so many ways we can drive efficiencies in this system, and we want to make certain that we're bringing our best ideas forward. Quite frankly, I think it is invigorating for so many of my colleagues for us to see this focus come back in on health care. Even earlier this week, Senator Alexander, who chairs the HELP Committee, my Tennessee colleague, was holding a hearing on this electronic health records, how we work on those systems. At Veterans Affairs, we were looking at how those electronic health records can be used.
Well, we heard it from
by
Lindsey
our
Graham.
veterans.
He says that your party has not given up on health care. Sounds like from you,
Not at all.
that is the case.
That's true.
Thank you, Marsha Blackburn, for your time today.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
Got some break.